in the general theory, okay, the fourth level system is a system of temperance. It's a system where the law and order prevails. It is no longer the individual ego. It is the power of the institution, the power of law and order, the power of postponing gratification to later time. This is an essential stage of development, be it for cultures, modern day cultures, that respect the institutions, what makes a culture modern and resilient. In economics, it is a stage that builds infrastructure.
Right.
It is a stage that is a transitory state of existence, though. I mean, and that is important. But it is important for the sole fact that it builds the infrastructure. It builds highways, ports, seaports, airports. It builds institutions.
Yeah, it brings an order to the somewhat kind of force and the chaos of the red underneath it, right?
Right. Yes. It is. That's what it seeks to make sense out of all the chaos after the red system collapses social order. And it is after the red is exhausted or channeled the right way, in a healthy way, to plug itself onto the higher system that is the blue fourth level system. So in economics, that system today is represented by China.
Right.
Central command and control, central production. And what you're experiencing today in the world is China is transitioning from the centrally planned blue economy to a market-based orange economy. And you're beginning to see a clash in values. You can no longer plan to maximize economic output blindly. You want to base it on market forces. Suddenly the hype of the last 20 years that China has had built into the system has to disappear. And whatever infrastructure they're built, market forces have to catch up to it.
Right.
So China is in that blue system. The Soviet Union, before it broke down, was in that blue system. But today, it's dominated by China, and that system represents about 12 to 16% of total global GDP. Now, the system above that is the orange system. And, in general, in both spiral dynamics and integral theory, orange represents the scientific mind. Orange represents uncovering the secrets of the universe through analysis and quantitative modeling. It is what has identified the Western culture for the last few hundred years. Unfortunately, in economics, today that is represented by financial innovation. The West has gone through the industrial age. What is left in economic expression is financial innovation. And that is really where the source of the problem today is that it is expressed in that and it's looking for ways out. Today, that system, the orange system, worldwide represents about 55 to 60% of global GDP.
So it's the predominant system.
It is,
right.
Without a doubt, it's the proper, because a lot, while the West is looking to exit that system, a lot of the emerging economies are coming into it.
Right.
And so manufacturing is still part and parcel of that orange system. How you build a culture that becomes market-based, that deals with consumer products and infrastructure, all that is an orange economic activity.
Right.
Now, the system above that is the green system, which we started emerging into economically. Now, the green values as an overall value system have been around for a long time. But in the economic sense, we started emerging into these values a few decades ago. Primarily with the advent of the internet, we started emerging into economic green values. Now, I have names for these different cycles in my book, and what we're transitioning from now is from a system that is dominated by what I call the only money matters era, which represents the financial innovation. It is known in common economics language as the neoliberal economic thought. We're emerging from that into what I'm calling the democratization of information and resources era. Democratization is part and parcel of the green value system. It seeks egalitarian and humanitarian distribution of information and resources. So in a sense, a lot of the chaos that you see, a lot of the destruction that you see in places like the Middle East, the Arab Spring was only made possible because of information.
Right.
You know, here you have a dictator who's been telling his people for decades, the West is your problem, Israel is your problem, I'm not stealing your natural resources, don't look at my bank accounts, they have trillions in them, you're working on wrong. And suddenly they have access to the internet.